Jumping back in here, let's see if my prediction is true, and if right now we're at spawn 33. So when this reaches spawn 38, hopefully we'll have turned it around by then. And let's see if that comes true or not. I will be honest with you, it's already been too long for me to remember exactly what happens here. So I know how this ends, but I don't remember how we got there. Okay, that battle's cool enough to slow down. You can see how just how much is going on in this game all at one time. And it's what makes it so interesting and such a deep strategy game, is there's so many layers to this game and what's happening here. And you can kind of see at this point, so he's kind of overbuilt beginner units. He doesn't really have any power units of his own yet. I'm talking about the enemy right now. And it wasn't the wrong call. I don't think he had any choice here. He wouldn't have made it this long against our combo if he didn't choose to overbuild these Marines and Marauders. But unfortunately, I do think it's going to cost him later in the game, especially towards the very end. What you're trying to do is build just enough of those to hold your wave while you build up real power units, which are like Immortals, Colossi. For him it might be tanks or Thors, battle cruisers even. I know not a lot of people like battle cruisers, but Terran, there isn't a single unit in Terran that is not useful. It's just a matter of knowing when to apply them. They don't all fall into the meta builds, but they definitely are they all have a purpose. So he's choosing not to build a whole lot of that. Right now he's focused mainly on some pretty basic units. And it's keeping him alive so far, but I'm going to go ahead and speed it up and let's see how long that lasts. All kinds of effects and stuff going on. You see some lightning happening. Here I am destroying that leftover wave and then going here against the regular one and getting completely annihilated. I mean, he just rips through me. You can see it's spawn 39 now, so my prediction did not come true. We are currently still getting pushed, as they say, and you can tell that by the fact that we're fighting leftovers of an army and then an entire enemy army right after that. That tells you that you are behind. And here it comes again. I'm going to send out my Berserkers, these big chunky melee guys who get in there with their whirlwinds. I'm going to rip through the leftovers, and then I'm going to get my butt kicked against the real whole army. Kind of hard to see what's happening because of all of these monitor dirigibles. Like, that is... They may be giving him vision, but they're just annoying mine. So now it's wave 41. On wave 41, you see this wall in the middle of the base. This wall comes down at the end of this wave, and these new gases come available. So the quick players use their probe, use this button right here to teleport, smash over to it, and then use their hotkeys ZW to pop in a base Vespene guys or whatever it may be. This is the income for the game. Each gas, when you get it, it pauses your income. So you can see right now I'm at 283 minerals. This is my money for the game. It's what I use to build the buildings, which spawn the units that you've seen fighting. So I'm at 283. Normally this goes up constantly, but right now, because I've just gotten an assimilator, it's paused. But that is some very dramatic music. It's paused, and so as soon as it unpauses, you'll see it has gone up. It is larger now. Look how fast my minerals gain. I think I'm getting like 33 per second. But there's obviously 2 more over here that I want to get as well. It's just that there's a cooldown on that ability. You can see it. To build an assimilator has a cooldown. That cooldown is still going. So the idea here in this part of the game is to try and time it so that you have just enough minerals to build at a simulator as soon as it becomes available. You can see I was a couple seconds behind there. Shame on me. Maybe that's what the dramatic music was for, just to let you know I was going to make a huge mistake that anyone who plays this game would judge me for. And that whole time the battle is still going on out here. We're still in progress. We can still see fighting the leftover wave and then fighting an entire wave. The battle's getting bigger and bigger at this point. I turn it down to normal speed. You can kind of see how slow everything is moving. Takes about a minute per wave when you're playing the real game. You kind of need that time to strategize appropriately. Watching these laser beams kill all the Marines and Marauders is still one of my favorite parts of this game. And you see these lightning storms coming out and just blasting through people. The Immortals are tearing them apart, these big old cannons. And it's like, yes, we have won! And then the real army gets there. And he's now added in these big things in the back called Spartans. Spartans do a huge amount of damage to massive units and have a ridiculous 12 range. So they're going to annihilate my Colossus. You see those big old missiles firing at them. And the Colossus exploding. Sad day. Right as the Zerg got there, which is another sad thing. The whole point of a tug-of-war game like this is to stack up units with your teammate. And I was not able to do that. Again, this Terran army is just strong enough to tear through me before before the Zerg gets there, even though they're definitely tearing it up in the speed department. Sorry.